Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Sweet Tooth, where we show you a behind-the-scene look at the people who make Sweet Tooth possible. Today's guest is Todd O'Neal. Todd is the sales representative for Redstone Foods. Hello, Todd.
How are you doing, Jeff? Thanks for having me.
How's everything down there in Shawnee?
Oh, it is just wonderful. Wonderful day.
Well, good. Good deal. I wanted to start off, maybe you could explain to everyone what Redstone Foods does.
Sure. We're a candy and soda distributor. So we carry about 7,000 SKUs of candy, 700 SKUs of craft sodas. So we kind of gather all kinds of products from all over the country as well as the world and kind of reach out to folks and help them stock their shelves with unique and specialty items.
All right. Which we've had in Sweet Tooth for many, many years. So you have I know you have a little bit of a retail, maybe not a little bit of a retail background. Can you tell us a little about what maybe some things you did that kind of led you to this?
Sure. I've spent about 30 years in the big box retailers, the Sam's Club, Lowe's, and Academy. Kind of traveled the country, been several different areas in Texas, Pennsylvania, as well as here. Spent a lot of time doing it. And once I saw an opportunity to make a change, kind of got tired of the hours and being away from home so much. This opportunity came up and made the switch.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a little change. You're going from working with a lot of people to working with one person.
Yeah, one person several times a day.
Yes, yes, indeed. So tell us, what is your favorite part of being a sales rep?
I've always been a people person, and that's the best part of my job, getting out and talking with folks. I can sit there and talk all day long. So it's kind of nice that I've made a lot of friends in the 4 or 5 years I've been doing this. Mm-hmm. So I've never really looked at it as working. It's more just a kind of a personal relationship with all the clients that I deal with.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering too, you have a pretty big territory, don't you? Like Oklahoma and Arkansas?
Yeah, I travel Oklahoma, Arkansas, part of Missouri. So pretty much 5 days a week. Most of the time I'm on the road. Very, very few days a week I'll do some office time where I do a lot of phone and internet contact between people who are kind of further out in the territories.
Mm-hmm. So you have any anecdotes or anything about the life of a traveling sales rep?
The big thing is you got to be flexible. You always run into hiccups on the road. You got to make sure you have enough time to visit folks because you're not going to see them again for 3 or 4 months. So that's always the challenge, is making sure that I've got that quality time that I can meet with folks and not feel rushed. At the same time, not miss somebody when I'm on a trip away from home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see how that could be a good thing to be flexible. I think is a good thing. Speaking of flexible, we are since we're in this pandemic now, I imagine things have changed for the life of a sales rep also.
Yeah, it's been challenging. Kind of have to adapt to how I deal with folks. 90% of my time is out in the field visiting customers, and now kind of as you've had to adapt with your business, it's a whole new world that we're kind of dealing with, and not sure what the new normal is going to be. But I do more things with video chats with folks, a lot more phone interaction and internet, and it's kind of tough on me because I'm a face-to-face kind of person, and I like to be out there and have that personal connection, the one-on-one time, and it's harder to make those connections sometimes when you're on a phone call or sending emails back and forth. It's easy to miss things that I could see, reading an expression on someone's face or those quick questions that come up. They get missed easy if you're not careful.
Yeah, and I don't know if people know, but we have our big meets twice a year to order Christmas and Halloween, and then we order Valentine's and what do we do?
Valentine's and Easter and Halloween and Christmas.
Yes. Okay, I was right. Halloween and then Christmas, and it takes the better part of a day, and we enjoy the interaction, and we're able to talk to Todd, and he's able to guide us through and see any feedback he's gotten on things or what he feels like, and so I think yes, the face-to-face right there in front of is the best way to do it if you can.
Absolutely. And as you know, it's And when you're doing the holidays, it's extremely challenging if you can't have that face-to-face meeting. You know, this year is the first year that we did not meet face-to-face.
Right.
Just being, you know, neither one of us could really afford to be out in the public with the conditions. And there's so many items and the new things that come out. It makes it more difficult and challenging to say, you know, what am I going to get this year? What's going well? Because everybody's on a different page this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, do you have any insights on the candy trends? Will be hot during the holiday season. I know we've already ordered some.
Right. I think big things is, you know, we kind of look at the novelty stuff, and the licensed has always been big every year. It's kind of that traditional thing. The thing that's going to make it different this year is a lot of times it's always based on movies and events that are out. And the pandemic has obviously affected that business as well. But some of the items that we've seen this year, you know, Scooby's going to be a big item this year. We've seen a lot of people jumping on that. Harry Potter again. There's no movie this year, but they're still continuing to bring out new items. And every fall, it's always been a big category for us on those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always been good for us. And I guess the pandemic too makes it kind of difficult for trying to figure out things for 2021.
Yeah, and it's been a challenge. You know, normally in the summer every year, the big Sweets and Snacks Expo is where a lot of the companies release those new things. And of course, that was one of the items that was canceled this year. So a lot of them, you know, didn't really get to push out there to see what people would jump on. And this year, you know, everybody's kind of anticipating trying to get caught back up. With the pandemic, and a lot of these companies have been shut down. They're still fighting production because they can't have full warehouses. Some of the warehouses are tough. Mm-hmm. So a lot of companies they're telling us, you know, we're just going to get back on basics and the items that have always traditionally done well, and trying to get them shipped on time. That's kind of the big thing we've been fighting recently.
Yeah, the whole thing really ripples throughout the whole retail world, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So Todd, when I know you have some off time sometimes. What kind of things do you like to do when you're not working? Hobbies?
You know, when I get home, and it's kind of nice to sit because I do spend a lot of time on the road, a lot of windshield time, driving up and down the highway. So I spend a lot of time with family. Come home and we hang out on the back porch, cook out a lot. As you know, my dad was the rep for Redstone for a long time, and once he retired, you know, both my parents retired at the same time. So we get together as a family quite a bit, every chance we get. So a lot of weekends, we've got the whole family together, kind of visiting and enjoying company. Trying not to yell and scream at each other like you do sometimes, but it's still fun.
That's all part of it.
That's right.
That is all part of it. Well, I have one last question for you. I wanted to ask you who your favorite high maintenance customer.
Oh man, favorite high maintenance. I can only think of one. You know, up in Tulsa, you know, there's a customer goes by Janet. You may know her. She kind of works around Sweet Tooth occasionally, so it's always fun to talk to her. She, you know, she could, you know, depends what you classify as high maintenance, but she is always on top of her game. She follows the candy trends real well, so a lot of times I will hear stuff from her before I'm hearing it on my side because she really tracks that stuff down. So it's always fun dealing with Janet and yourself.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, she always does keep up with it. And that's kind of nice. That's why we kind of have the latest and greatest, we hope, anyway, at our store.
Yeah.
Well, Todd, I appreciate you taking the time to do this with us. And I'm sure we'll be getting, or at least talking on the phone or Zooming for our next order before too long.
Yeah. So, I thank you for allowing me the time. And it's always a pleasure dealing with you and Janet at Sweet Tooth. You guys are always have been great customers for a long time, and you continue to make those calls to find that new and great items, and you guys are always really involved in looking at the merchandise.
Well, the O'Neals have been a big part of all that, so we appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you again, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, great to see you, Jeff.
All right, thank you. Okay, we stopped.
No technical difficulties, maybe.
I think we stopped.